Hi, it's Michelle Stimpson, and we are in part 2 of Creating Simple Book Covers. I'm an author, a speaker, and an educator, and you can visit me online at www.michellestimpson.com. So this is part 2. I'm going to go ahead and skip into some other things before we start. The handout for this video is at tinyurl.com/Stimpson2. So get that. There are some links in there that will be helpful to you. Also, as I told you the last time, you might want to have an old-fashioned mouse so that this will be of use to you. There's lots of clicking and dragging and pointing. And if you have a larger screen that you can hook up to your laptop if you're looking at a small screen, that will also be helpful to you. The book cover, I'm going to be talking about making the full book cover today, the front, the spine, and the back part. And so we're looking at making it for CreateSpace.com. Now, I have never made a book cover for Lightning Source or 48hourbooks.com. I imagine it's probably very similar, but I don't know that for sure. So just so that you know, I'm only doing what I know, and I'm not even going beyond that. So the thing about book covers is, you can be as simple or as creative as you want to be on the back side. I've got two samples here. One is from Kimberly Lawson Roby's. It's a thin line. And the back cover usually has some element from the front side. That picture on the left at the top there is actually a picture from the front of the book. And then and then she's also got her bio at the top and a quote from another author. Then we have Jenny B. Jones's book, and she's got interesting font going on there, and she's also got some advertising on the back for other books that she's written. So that are part of that series. So you can play around with what you want on the back side. This video is just going to help us think through what it is that we need to be aware of as we design the cover, but you can take it as far as you want to go, your mind around what needs to happen with the cover itself. In the handout that you have downloaded, the number one thing I've got on there is that if you need help formatting the interior, you should watch the video by India Drummond. She's also an indie author, and she's done an excellent video on how to format the interior, and there's just no need in reinventing the wheel. There are several videos online about creating book covers for CreateSpace. However, most of them have to do with a program called GIMP or Adobe Photoshop, which are both great programs. But we're going to be looking at how to do this outside of programs that you have to purchase. So let's get started. So you're using CreateSpace to make the print version of your book available to readers. The first thing you're going to need to do that is the book cover template. So I'm at CreateSpace.com. I'm going to go over here to the search box and just type in book cover template. And the first thing that comes up is book cover templates. Over here on the left, you're going to, I'm using black and white interior, a trim size of 6 by 9, and I'm estimating that it's going to have about 250 pages, and I'm using white paper. And then you'll click Build Template, and it's going to give you a folder, and you'll download the PDF. Actually, we're going to download the PNG file because I'm learning, well, let's just download the file. So I've already downloaded the file, actually. And it looks like this. They're going to send you something that has, well, there's one extra one in there. I'll show you how to create that in just a second, but they're going to send you a template in PDF and in PNG. So one thing that I've learned just in making these videos is that Ribbit doesn't really like PNG files. It really likes JPEG files. So when you get that file from CreateSpace, I suggest, if you don't have a program already on your computer that can change a PNG to a JPEG file, you might use a free program like Zamzar.com or a free website like Zamzar.com, which converts files. So let's say you've got that file that they sent you, and you have the PNG file. That's what you wouldn't have this one that says book cover 6 by 9 from Zamzar yet. You will in a few minutes. But they will only have sent you the PDF and the book cover file. And so you would choose that, and then you would say convert that file to JPEG, and then you enter your email address and you click convert, and it's going to take, for this one, it's going to take 5 seconds maybe, and they're going to send you a link so that you will then have that file in JPEG format. So once you've got that, you're ready to go back to Ribbit and you're ready to make this happen. So I'm going to upload my converted file from Zamzar. So you would have already converted it from them. And all right, so when you get that file, it might be hard to see on the screen right now, but there's a lot of white around the actual file that you need. So we need to crop out that white stuff. So let's go ahead and just get it around the pink or the peachy looking color there so that we can make sure we're not dealing with too much stuff. There we go. We want it to be exactly where it ought to be. We don't want a whole bunch of extra stuff hanging over the edge. It needs to be pretty darn close. Alright, very, very good. I think we're looking good here, my friends. And I want you to stop doing that. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm talking to my computer again. Okay, so there we go. Oh, we were better before. Oh, come on, work with me. Okay, that's good. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. My bad. Alright, I think that's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and apply that. And I need to resize this. For a book that's a 6x9 with about 250 pages or so, actually this one is a little bit less, I think. I'm going to change the dimensions to be around 2700 for the width, and then I'll be able to play around with it. And make sure you keep the proportions, and so we should be fine. Now, if you get in here and CreateSpace sends you an email that says change the dimensions, and then you'll have to change them and play around with it. But for a book around this length, we should be fine. If it's a little bit longer, take it to 2800 or something. It's better to have it too big than too small, because shrinking down is not usually a problem, but trying to blow things up usually is when we're talking about the dimensions of a picture. But since you've used 300 dots per inch, you're going to be safe pretty much no matter where you go with this whole thing. Alright, so we now have a template, and we are ready to add pictures to this template. So I've already uploaded the photo, the cover that we did last night. I'm saying last night for me. It was last night for me. This is a new day. And I'm going to pull it over the front cover to this right side. The right side is where the front cover is when it comes to this whole thing. So Brooklyn's Game is going to go right there. There's a couple of things I want to make sure of, though. I want to make sure I haven't gone past the bleed. And what I mean by that is you don't want to have active elements like letters and very, very important parts of pictures on any part that's pink. But it's kind of hard to see what's on what right now because you've got the photo on top of the template. So what you want to do is fade so that you can see what's going on here. Okay, we're looking good there. I'm going to zoom in over here on this right side because I want to make sure that ooh, that's awfully close there. That S on the word famous, it's awfully close. So if I wanted to, I could go back into my library and I could pull up that cover and make a change to it and move that over and then resave it and re-upload it if I wanted to. But I'm going back because I don't want to. I'm going to continue editing this. I don't want to do that right now. I just can't do it. What I am going to do, let me go over here to this corner and see if I have any room. Oh, well, I'm already pushing it on the edge there. I may have to do that. All right, so I'm just going to make that a little bit bigger. And I'm already over the edge a little bit over there. So I think I'm going to be okay now. Let's see. Let me go down. Okay, the S is a little bit safer now. It makes me feel happy. Although it probably was safe before. I don't know. I have issues. So there's that. Brooklyn, and I've actually cut off a little bit of the watch, which I'm okay with because I never liked that watch anyway. That looks good. All right, the front of this is safe. Now we need to deal with the spine, and we need to deal with the back part. Oh, let me zoom in a little bit, because this blue dotted line that's over here and over here, that's where the spine of the book actually is going to be. So I want to make sure that I'm doing a good job of getting of covering that part well with maybe a picture. Or I just want to make sure that I'm okay with what's going on there. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the other side. And I think I'm just going to go with something really simple and use that Brooklyn stuff that we have been playing around with. And I'm going to go ahead and just cover everything right now. Okay, so now I've covered up everything with that. And I'm going to put this behind the picture that's on the front. So I'm just going, for a Mac, I'm going Control and click it. On a PC, you're just going to right click on the picture. And I'm just going to say send backward. Not all the way to the back, because that would mean the template would be on top of it. No, I think, let me see. Let's check it out and see. Oh no, it's still okay. All right. So I now can see the cover, the front cover over that, which is fine. And at some point, whenever I unfade this, we're going to be okay. So don't worry that we're messing up something. We're going to be okay, people. It's going to be okay. I want to go back to this picture and see if I want to flip it. I might want to flip that. I think I will flip it. I don't know. I'll play around with it and see. Okay. So we're looking good there. Yeah, I like that better. All right. Now I need to make sure that I'm not covering. I'm sorry. I was just having a moment of thinking through things. And that's how it is when you're working with these book covers. You got to think through stuff. So let me decide now if I want. All right, here's what you got to do. I'm fading this back part because I need to make sure that whatever I do does not cover this yellow, bright yellow barcode location and size information there. So make sure we're not covering that up. And while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go ahead and move this over just a teensy bit because, oh, please don't mess up my S. I want to be right on that blue line. Yeah, I might have to go back and play with that S. So I know that going into it. I just might have to go back and play around. This is the tedious part of doing things, but let's go ahead and work through what's going on with this back cover. All right, so I only have one style when it comes to back covers right now because I just haven't learned anything else. And I probably will sooner or later, but just not right now. And that style looks like a sticker. Let me go get a sticker, a rectangle, others might call it. Okay, so let me just back up and say all the stuff that is in white is kind of the center of the back side. There's some little bitty areas around here in pink. You can have stuff on the pink, but it doesn't need to be stuff that's important because it might end up getting cut off. So the pink is like the safe zone. Don't go here, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get a kind of a little square going on the back side where I can put information. And I want to make it fade, but I certainly don't want it to be black. Let me go over here to this cover. Let me unfade that. I like that blue from the title, so I'm going to go ahead. Whoops, sorry. My bad. I'm going back to the square. Oh, let me undo because I messed up the whole front cover. Okay, I'm going back to the square. I don't want it to be black. I'm going to pick this blue from over here. And I'm going to fade it. Now, right now, I still have the back faded. And that's okay. We'll unfade all this stuff later and play around with it. So, Now I know that this blue area is what I want to write on, and I might make it a little bit longer so that it doesn't look so goofy with the whole barcode thing. But you really don't have a whole lot of control over the barcode. It is what it is. It's where it's going to be, and you just have to work with it. Work around it, work with it, whatever you want to do. That's fine. So now we're going to come to what is pretty much a limitation of CreateSpace, and that is has to do with the text and how the text is placed. So let me go over here to text, and I'm just going to make up a description for this, what I want to put at the top of this one. Chasing dreams can lead to nightmares. Oh, that's bad. Alright. Oh, let me upload my fonts too, because I like to deal with my fonts. So I'm going to give that a second. So, again, when we're finished with all of this, we're going to unfade everything and we should be okay. But right now, I just need to make sure that I can see where my liberty ends to make changes. So I've got this chasing dreams can lead to nightmares, and let's just make that Adobe Cast on Pro. How about that? And we'll add it. And that'll go at the top over here. Now this is where it gets really, really goofy with Ribbit, because it's like it wants to tell you what to do, but you don't want it to tell you what to do. Alright, and I might make that this indigo, which I've been playing around with quite a bit, so it'll be a nice little contrast to what's going on there. Alright, so move over, please. Thank you very much. This looks kind of big. The good thing about CreateSpace is that you can order a proof before you actually have it in print. And you can look at it and you can go, okay, I want to change this or change that, and you can order as many proofs as you need to get it to where you want it to be. Now, again, we're coming to a limitation within Ribbit, and that has to do with the text. So I'm just going to act like I'm creating a description here. Brooklyn always wanted to visit the city she was named after. One fight with her father put her on that desperate path to a big city with bright lights and mean. Oh, everybody in Brooklyn is not mean. Bright lights and sometimes questionable personalities. Okay, let me add that, and I'm gonna go with Cast on Pro. Alright, how about that? I hope I'm saying that correctly. Alright, so you see the issue is that it's gonna make that whole thing one big sentence. Well, and that stretches all the way across this thing here, so that's a problem. First of all, that's too big, so let me shrink it. I'm gonna move it back over. And just looking at it, still probably a little bit too big. And I'm going to, there you go. So what you can do, and I think this type is still a little big for my taste, but some people, I've seen it as that big on some people's. 57 is just huge. Let's go down to at least 41. I mean, I'm imagining you have a lot to say about Brooklyn. Let's go right there. Alright, so what you have to do is you have to go back over into the text and push enter, and then it'll give you another line, and isn't that fun? After a to a, and then I have big city. Alright, I think that's gonna work for that part. Uh-oh. And questionable, let's say not personalities, I'm going to say people because I want to make it fit. Alright. I don't like this color. I don't want it to be white. I'm going to go ahead and make it black because it'll show up better on my back side. And I'm just going to copy and paste this 2 or 3 times just so that we're all on the same page about what's going on. Although with your real one, of course, you would, whoops, what did I just do? Uh-oh. Control Z does not work, Michelle Stimpson. Go back, undo. Oh, I just did that. That was goofy. Alright, and so I have now made a whole bunch of text go in here some kind of crazy way. Alright, let me undo all that. That's goofy. I need to look like it makes sense. Okay. All of that, let me copy that, and then I'm going to make another paragraph. How about that? There we go. That's what I'm trying to do, people. I need it to look like I've got 2 or 3 or 4 paragraphs of stuff going on there. Only because I need to show you the next step. Okie doke. So I've got this print. Wrong thing. And this is where it gets funky because it wants to make you do what it wants you to do. So there's my description, whatever that description is. And I might have a quote from somebody in here who has read the book and something that they have to say. I probably want to keep that separate though. So I'm going to go ahead and make a separate box. This is the best book ever written from somebody well known. I can add that. And I might want to keep that kind of big if I want people to really think it's great. And maybe it is a great book. And I might do a different font with that one. I can go back and do that, but it'll be font that I had before. And make it all happy. Or a different font would actually probably be better. Anyways, you play around with the fonts and make it look like whatever you want it to look like. Let me change the color of this to maybe that. I don't know how that's going to look. Maybe that, although that's not the cutest thing ever. And I might center it. And then, after all of that, I might decide to write a little bit about who the author is. So I can add a divider somewhere in here. There we go. That looks good. And I downloaded this divider from Dollar Photo. It was one of those that actually was on the page with several other things that I downloaded, like we did yesterday when we did the dividers and that kind of thing. So that's cool. So let me go back and say one of the limitations again is that you have to play around when you're writing a lot of text. You have to go in and put the enter and do a hard enter, hard return after each one. And also you only have the options to go left justified, centered, or right. You cannot do justified all the way across. So that's just one of my pet peeves, but other people don't seem to have that much of an issue with it. Let me go back to my divider, and remember I'm going to get rid of all that white stuff by clicking darken. And I actually kind of want this to be this color of the indigo that we've been using. So I'm going to use my color picker, and I'm going to go over here and change that to that color, and that makes me happy. Now I'm going to write something about myself. If you have a picture of yourself, you can go ahead and drag it over here if you'd like. That's little old me again with some of the books that I've written under my chin. And I can see that I'm kind of going off of that blue thing that I like. So I don't know, I might need to lengthen that some more so that it goes down to the length of the barcode. It makes me happy. That's a little bit far over. Now I need to move this over if I move that over, which is fine. I just need to make that change because I want it to look centered. And now it's not letting me click on what I want to click on. Get rid of that. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I can add another box of text where I'm giving some information about myself. The big thing here is don't go over that yellow box. Michelle Stimpson is an author, speaker, and educator. Visit her online at www.michellestimpson.com. Okay, whoops. add it. So there I am again. Let me make it black. Let me make it smaller. And then we shall move on. Author. I'm going to put the heart after author. Come on, work with me, people. All right. Move out of the way, people. All right, there's that. Visit her. And then I'm going to get online. At www.michellestimpson.com. All right, so I'm safe. I'm within the pink. I like to still be on the blue. I'm good. There's the back side. You can't really see the final product. Well, let's just go ahead and peek at what we got going. Let me unfade all of this. Oh, I don't like that. You can hardly see what's going on. So this needs to be lighter. Let me unfade that some more. Okay, very good. Now I can see. The last thing that I need is a spine for this book. So I'm going to need Brooklyn's Game right here and Michelle Stimpson down there. Now here's the funky thing about doing this. When I turn the text to the side, it's really hard for me to get the control of the text again. So I might have to move the background out of the way so that I can do that. But we're about to find out. So we need text. We need Brooklyn's. And I don't remember what font I used yesterday for that. So I'm going to go with Allegria right now. And add it. And I want that same color from over here. And I'm going to turn it to the side. I want to make sure that's straight. And it's kind of hard to tell what's straight and what's not on here. I might have to zoom in sometimes to get what's going on for real. Alright, I'm going to move this now. Now see, this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes it won't let me get in here and do what I want to do. So, if that happens to you, as it's happening to me right now, I'm going to move this out of the way. I can bring it back in a second. It's messing me up because I can't do what I want to do with it. I need to get in here and move this right here. I'm also going to go ahead and fade this a little bit so that I can see my lines. I need Brooklyn's Game to be right here. Oh, come on, Brooklyn's Game. Let me in. Let me in. Okay, I need it to be between these lines that I know are here. Oh, as a matter of fact, let me fade it, and it's still a little crooked. No, it's not. Let me fade this so I can see what's going on with Brooklyn's Game. Okay, that looks good. It's where it should be. Maybe a little bit down. Okay, I'm done with that. And I'm ready to add Michelle Stimpson, who is the author of this fake book called Brooklyn's Game. And I might choose a different font for that. Let's go with this one. How about that? And that's going to be on kind of a darker spot. So I'm going to keep that white. And I'm going to make it a little bit smaller than 100. Let me move that down. It's about right there-ish. Okay, I feel happy. Oh, that's crooked though. One moment, please. It's still crooked, Shelly. That's my name for myself, is Shelly. Now that's one of the limitations of Ribbit. You don't have the benefit of, okay, I feel happy about that, a ruler, which you would have if you have some other programs. So just FYI, that's what we're doing. That's why we're going where we are. Okay, I have now moved the back where it should be, and I'm going to take the fade down to 0 so that I can see what everything looks like, and take the fade down to 0 on this one as well. That Michelle Stimpson has got to come down. It's still crooked for one thing. I think it is. And it's not going to be in the right place. No, it's actually not crooked. It's not going to be in the right place so that people can see it on the spine. Now it's a little bit better. There we go. Alright, so my spine is done. My back part is done. Let me make sure I'm not over any of the pink. I'm not over any of the yellow. So I should be good to go with this and ready to make it happen. So if you have a book logo that you want to add, you can add that in this space, I guess, between the author's picture. If you have a picture, I mean, it's up to you. Just look at the back of other people's books and see what they've done and copy it. And, you know, put your stuff in there, but copy it. You can also maybe put your logo on the back side if you need to by your name on the spine. It just depends on what you want to do. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm recognizing here that my name and Brooklyn's Game are not lined up. So I would probably want to go back in there and change that as well. But this just gives you an idea of how to create that backside. So let me get rid of this fade. And I like it. I like it. I like it. I'm going to save it. Now it looks funky right now, but don't worry. This is going to be book cover from film. Save it. And I'm going to save it in book cover 2 is what I want to do. Second cover. Book cover from film. Perfect. Now what's going to happen is it's going to send you, when you save it, of course it's saving it in JPEG. But to upload it to CreateSpace, you want it to be in JPEG. So let me take a look at it. I'm sorry, in PDF, not JPEG. It's in JPEG already. You want it to come out in PDF so that you can upload it. So what you're going to do is go back. If you have a Mac, you can just file and export it as a PDF, which is great. If you are working with you may have a program that can already do it on your PC. I don't even know if PCs can do it. There may be something already. But if you find that you are clueless and you have this JPEG file that you don't know what to do with, you can go back to Zamzar, you can upload that file that's in a JPEG, and then this time you'll choose convert it to a PDF. You'll put your email address in there and it'll send it back to you, and you'll do the same thing you did before, or that you saw me do before if you had to when we converted from JPEG, from PNG to JPEG. So my friends, I'm going to go back and play around with this so that I can line up my name, because I don't like how it looks when I look at the PDF. But that, my friends, oh, I'm sorry, one more thing. When you're finished with all of this, you'll want to combine everything. I mean, when you're totally finished, okay, you'll want to combine everything so that it makes it one big compressed file, because right now it looks like 6 or 7 different elements on top of that template that you have underneath it. But when you combine everything, it actually causes the picture to come together, and CreateSpace won't say, we had to combine your, don't worry about that. You can do it yourself. All right, thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Check me out online, www.michellestimpson.com.